Okay, I'm going to show you how to make a guitar sound in LSDJ. There are actually a number of ways to achieve this, but when I found this one, I thought it was particularly interesting how he made it. This instrument comes from Gieskes.nl. It's actually a website, and the website is still up. But some of the MP3s don't actually work, so I figured this would be a pretty good video to do. Plus, the way he makes the actual guitar sound is really interesting. So, and you'll find out why soon. So let's go ahead and, well, first I want to change the tempo to 80, just so you can actually take in each sound, and it's a little slower. So let's go ahead and make our chain and our phrase, and we're going to start out just making our instrument first. Now we're in the wave channel. Normally you would use the wave to make an instrument, but we're actually going to make a guitar instrument from a drum kit. I know, it sounds weird, but when you hear the sound, it's actually really cool, and that's what makes this really interesting. So you're going to adjust each kit to TR727, and you're going to adjust the LEN to 6, and the loop is going to be on each side. Speed can be a factor in this, but for right now we're not going to adjust it. I'll show you later. So we're also going to make a table too. We just need to add 2 commands. We're going to need to add a sweep and shape command, and just set it to 10, and we also need to add a hop command, and that we leave at 0 just so it loops. If you ever forget what each command is, if you just highlight the command and double tap A, it'll show you at the top that this is a sweep and shape, and double tap the H, and this is a hop to step, and it'll give you a little more explanation of how it actually works. So okay, so now we're going to set up our notes, and you'll see there are 2 columns. This is how our drum kits work. That they set up there. You can actually add 2 different samples of a drum kit on each side, just like you would play real drums, that you could hit 2 things at the same time. But that's for anyone who has never used the drum kit instruments. So already you can kind of tell like it has a guitar-y kind of sound. It sounds pretty cool. That's actually the sound of a bell, and because we adjusted it, now it has a kind of a high-pitched guitar distortion sound. But on the site, he says to use the LCA, and that's what we're going to do as far as this tutorial. But I would say experiment with the other sounds. I mean, they definitely have a guitar sound too. So I'm just going to add it to every 4th one here, just so I can show you how to get a little more depth. So that's what it sounds like now without adding any commands. It kind of sounds like you can't do much with it, but adding commands can actually really give you a lot of depth as far as using this sound, using this instrument. So you can use the pitch, the sweep, and vibrato. You can try other effects too. But these are the ones that he mentions on the site. So I'm going to add 10 to each one, and I'm going to leave this as the just the default, just so you know what the original sounds like, and then compare it to the other sounds from each command. So let's try it out on 10. Alright, sounds pretty cool. Let's try and adjust it a little bit. Let's go to 55 on each and see what each one sounds like now. I'm going to do this a couple more times just to kind of show you the spectrum of how each one sounds. So definitely got a significant difference out of that. Now let's try A8 and see what kind of sound we can get out if we go just a little higher here. Some pretty cool sounds. Let's go as high as we can to FF and see what it's like at the extreme. Pretty cool stuff. This is, you know, it's definitely an original way to make a guitar sound. You can also add, like I said, you can adjust the speed, and this kind of gives you, it ups the lows and really gives you a nice bassy sound too. So let's see what that sounds like. Yeah. If you're trying to do the stuff with a band, especially if you're doing a metal band or a hardcore band, and you're trying to add a chiptune sound, I would definitely try and incorporate this instrument into it. You definitely get some really cool low sounds and really grungy and dark. So at the at half speed, but it's definitely a cool instrument and definitely a really cool way to make a guitar sound in LSDJ.